Hi guys, hi Bhushan. I know we have not really been able to do this after the US Open. One of the major reasons for it being that I think a tournament of this scale, if we compare it to the Grand Slams, it's the ATP World Tour Finals comes close to the Grand Slams, the importance of a Grand Slam. But on a different note, actually, I think the ATP World Tour Finals holds a different significance because you have to qualify for it based on
Yeah.
your performances over the year. Really
Earn it.
looking forward to it, and I think it is really special, don't you think? From a in a different context, maybe than the Grand Slams, but overall, if you look at it, it is a really special tournament.
Yeah, yeah. You have to earn it. That's first and foremost. And it's just maybe 15 days away, a little bit more than that. But everybody is looking forward to it, majorly because Djokovic hasn't really played enough after his US Open victory. And the indoor season obviously is coming to an end, which has been fantastic. Really, we'll discuss about that. But yeah, everybody's looking forward to the NATO ATP for World Tour Finals.
Right. So you delved right into the topic about Novak Djokovic. So I think if we talk about the players, so of course,
Yeah,
uh, Djokovic playing this, it is nothing new for him. He is the record holder in winning the ATP World Tour Finals. But
six
this
times,
year specifically, I'm sorry.
six times, six times.
Yeah,
He's
six
going for
times.
his seventh. Yeah,
He's going for a seven. But this time, I think what separates him is that he has played really few tournaments,
yeah,
and somehow he has managed to qualify for the ATP Tour Finals, and he's amongst the first few players to have qualified for it. Of course, we know he has had a great year. Winning three out of four Grand Slams is no joke. And
yeah,
mind you, the fourth Grand Slam also he played the finals. So performance wise, I think Grand Slams, only the four Grand Slams have taken him to the final, ATP World Tour final. I don't think we even need to consider anything else. The 1000 Masters. He has even played very few 1000 Masters, if I may
yeah.
say.
He has really come out and said that he wants to preserve his energy and he wants to really prepare for Grand Slams, which is typically his aim. With that is going to be for him going forward.
So, of course, Djokovic has definitely taken one of the first seats. Alcaraz definitely is into the mix. Medvedev has qualified, and recently I read that Sinner has confirmed his spot.
Yeah,
Of course, Sinner has had a great year, and mind you, you just mentioned that Alcaraz is playing his first ATP World Tour final, but Sinner is not. Sinner has
yes, yeah.
already played a ATP World Tour final. I think it was because Matteo Berrettini pulled out at the last minute. I'm not entirely sure of it, but Sinner has played. So there, Sinner beats Alcaraz in terms of who the veteran is, and I guess the last four spots are still up for grabs, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, they are up for grabs, and I think a lot of it depends on the upcoming Paris Masters. Because if somebody is from maybe even the 16 players, if somebody is able to win it and somebody else doesn't perform that well, it's probably 1,000 point kind of a difference, or 1,000 to something very similar. So anybody can really turn up in Paris Masters and then get his ticket to the World Tour Finals.
You know, the craziest thing that has come into the news recently is that even Ben Shelton is in running for a potential spot in the ATP World Tour Finals. Now, Ben Shelton actually announced himself at the Australian Open that he has a great game, the touch game, McEnroe-esque feel, everything. But after that, he has absolutely underperformed right until US Open. And
Yeah,
after that, God knows what happened to him. He is just blasting 150 mile serves everywhere. He's
I was
having
exactly about to say that. That video
yeah.
went so viral. His couple of serves, biggest serves, fastest serve, and so on and so forth. That was crazy.
And even at the US Open, he played exceptionally well. He was, of course, beaten by none other than Novak. So I think it's safe to say that his game has suddenly picked up, and if we do see him uh, in the ATP World Tour Finals, he can be a potential challenger to everybody, considering we are talking about a best of three sets game on a hard court.
Yeah. And in terms of form, if you see, it's I'm feeling this as kind of a clay court season because so many people were participating, so many people, different people were winning. That's what we are, I think, seeing in the indoor season as well. Dimitrov beat Alcaraz. That is just one part. Even Dan Evans had a very close match with Alcaraz, and you see a lot of players performing very well across the indoor season this time. And I don't know if this performance is limited to the indoor game, and then again we see Djokovic and Alcaraz like we saw
Right,
at the end of French
right.
Open. That's really a thing to see. But it's good that so many people are really coming up with a great game towards the end of the season.
Okay, all right. So you just talked about it. So this was something I wanted to talk to you. That is this just another setup to watch a Djokovic Alcaraz final. Everything just comes around, and there is a lot of hoopla created around everybody. And in the end, this is
One last
we are
time.
all gearing up for. So this has happened so many times now in this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would assume that since Djokovic is not playing, and obviously Alcaraz and Djokovic haven't met, there is an excitement. There is an air of excitement that one last time this year, that would be the match to go for. But in the World Tour Finals, it's generally in a round robin fashion. There are so many good games that to qualify and get to the finals and then maybe play Djokovic might be a tough task for Alcaraz.
Right. So that was something. That was another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Looking at how everything has panned out this year, and considering the surface, and considering the fact that we are talking about a best of three sets match, do you think Medvedev and Sinner
Yeah.
are real potential threats to Alcaraz? I'm not talking about Djokovic because he's from a different planet. So let's talk about mere mortals here. Uh, Sinner has proven on many occasions now that in a best of three sets battle, he
Yeah.
generally is a tough opponent for Alcaraz. On the other hand, Medvedev sort of actually upset is not exactly the right kind of word. Medvedev definitely specializes on the hard surface, but everybody was shocked when Medvedev defeated Alcaraz at the
Yeah.
US Open.
Yeah. And he had a great performance. Recently, Sinner has had a great performance. So, in the round robin, obviously, I see that Medvedev and Sinner, who have great fitness levels, will obviously have an edge. And in the three setter, as you're saying, I think it might be tough for Alcaraz because he will have to consistently perform. And to win the ATP Tour Finals, I think he'll have to beat two players at least. Medvedev, Sinner, one out of them, and Djokovic. Obviously, we are considering him.
Yeah, no, probably all three of them because they meet in the semi-finals after that.
Yeah.
So there is a very good chance that he'll have to beat all three of them. And best of three sets, hard court. I think it's going to be a tough task for Alcaraz.
Let's see. I think he's on a break, so once he comes back, he might be stronger than ever.
Right. And finally, about the last four spots. So, who are you rooting for, or what are your predictions? Predictions, I
I
won't say,
I, I
but
actually thought that once Dimitrov beat Alcaraz, I was really rooting for Dimitrov, but he's not in contention at all. But I would have loved to see him. He actually won the World Tour Finals in 2017,
right.
and
Yes.
the drop shot is quite famous, and that's in my head when I talk about him in that World Tour Finals. But I think there are usual suspects. Maybe Tiafo is the last on the list, but Runa, Casper Road, and it's difficult to call among the other two. But I think I'll go with these because they had a positive season. Not sure entirely whether they will be on.
Sissipas, I think you're forgetting Sissipas.
Yeah, Tsitsipas is also having a great time right now. So yes, I think Tsitsipas is one for me out of four for sure. Uh, the other three may be difficult to call. Let's see.
Right. So I think that's about it for the ATP World Tour Finals. And finally, my one-time favorite player, Holger Rune. What do you think of him? Because he has definitely underperformed and disappointed me, to be really honest.
Yeah, I think he
After he
was very.
defeated Djokovic at one of the 1000 Clay Masters,
Yeah, yeah,
I had really high hopes from him. Djokovic himself said that he thinks Rune is a version of, well, he sees a lot of himself in Rune or something like that. So that
yeah,
was a big compliment. He defeated Djokovic. That was great. And somehow, for me, it has just gone, downhill from that. And the reason I brought up Rune is because he came into the limelight by winning the Paris Masters. And
yeah,
now we are approaching the Paris Masters.
yeah. Defending champion.
Right.
But I think the first 6 months or first half of the season was fantastic for Uno, and things were looking upwards. But looks like the second half was, maybe he's still learning. It's a part of experience as well. So it's, I mean, let's see. Let's not really judge him. If he does great at Paris, then obviously he has a great chance, and then he will have a shot at the ATP finals as well.
Right. All right. So that's it. I think we'll need to talk about the ATP World Tour Finals a lot more now in the coming few days. So, guys, please let us know in the comment section. The first four spots are fixed now; they're confirmed. Who do you think are going to be filling the remaining four spots? Thank you so much.